Hey folks, it's time for TWiP PRO Critique number 29. This is TWiP. And I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Troy Miller, to step through some of the cool submissions into the community. Hey Troy, what's going on, man?
Hey, this is fun. It's another one. I know that the weeks are going by quick because I'm here again. This is great.
I know. And we're a day late, too. You know that, right? So
yeah,
we were supposed to record this yesterday, but, you know, let's just say things got in the way. But we're here now, and we're recording.
My whole week.
And I'm going to cut this opening banter short because there's so many things to go through, so many shots to go through. So I think we should just dive right in. What say you?
I say we do that.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to bring up let me bring up the screen first. I suppose I could do that. Here we go. All right, we're in TWiP Pro now, and this first one looks like it's from Esteban Gill. Hey, Esteban, welcome. And just because we have so many to go through, I'm not going to read all the descriptions, but I'm going to read this one because he's a new member. He says, hello, everyone, longtime listener and fan of TWiP. Just signed up minutes ago, and I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Esteban Gill. I'm a wedding photographer based in Guilford, Connecticut. Here's a shot of a beautiful bride from a few weeks ago. Let's bring her up full screen here. There she goes. What do you think of this beautiful bride?
Hey, this is in my wheelhouse.
I know.
Yeah.
This is like right in your ballpark.
Yeah, this is very nicely done. This is a pose that I do fairly regularly, you know, showing off the makeup and the eyes and you know, the eyelashes and all that kind of stuff. This is really beautiful done. I really don't have a lot to add to this. I mean, maybe some dodging around the lower part of the image to bring a little more focus on her right eye, but this is handled very, very, very well. Yeah. So I'm very much like this.
I wouldn't have anything to add to this either. I'm not a wedding photographer, but when I see a shot like this, I love that looking down, sort of pensive, thoughtful look. But then I also think of like, what's the next shot after this? And like I said in TWiP Pro, the next shot is her looking at the camera with that same sort of head tilted down look. Have you done that, Troy?
I have, yeah. When she, you know, usually at this point, what I'll do is I'll have her look down, maybe turn her head slightly right, slightly left, move the veil around a little bit, and then lift her chin and then look up at me. Mm-hmm. And usually talking to her and getting a smile out of her. You know, there's a whole bunch you can do here. This is not always easy to do, though, too, because you got to think about that veil is in there, and you've got to pretty much manually focus through the veil to get the eyelashes. And to get all that nice and sharp is really well done. So yeah, there's a lot you can do with these. These are cool.
Yeah, well done. And welcome to the fray, Esteban. It's good to have you in here. All right, for this next one, looks like TWiP Pro regular Mr. Craig Stampfley. Let's bring this one up. Look at that one. Like I said, I'm not going to read the like all these descriptions, or we'll be here all night. Let me bring this up full screen.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is. Look at the detail in there. That's crazy.
I love it. I'm just looking at. You know what I'm doing? The first thing I do is I look for lines, like vertical, horizontal lines.
Same here. Yeah.
The horizontal lines in the bottom are really good. The vertical lines in the building could be tweaked a little bit.
It looks like it's leaning to the right a little bit, right?
It does. It does. Craig, we caught you. Come on, man.
Yep, we got you, dude.
But what cool timing. I mean, I love the movement of the Vespa, and the shadow is all in there in the street, and the sign is right in the center. I love it. I really do. I think this is really great. You know, if I was to take this to competition, I would probably drop some clouds in that vacant space in the top right corner. Because I think that's kind of hurting it a little bit, having that trap or cropping it. To try to get rid of that negative space, or if you're really good at Photoshop, pull the window from the left and put it over there.
Hey, there you go.
Fill in that void a bit, but you know, what a killer shot. I love it. Sharp. Yeah.
Yeah, I like all the textures in there. It's just like every little surface is a different texture, which is really, really cool. And I thought, you know what I thought you were going to say? You know, he should have put a person in one of those windows in that in the top sort of vertical 8-pane window door up there?
And not this one. Not this one. This one's architecture. This isn't a dark, dreary, scary tunnel. We need to stick somebody in. This is.
Yeah. This is nice though. I like it.
I dig it. Yeah, I dig it. It's really
wonder
good.
what this would look like printed. That's a lot of detail in this shot.
It look really good.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Mighty is making me scroll down. Okay, here we go. This is from Drake White. All right, here we go. I'm just going to read this first one. He says in his bio, he's returning to photography after a 20-year break. Here's his shot. Shot after a 20-year break. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this, because there was a similar one like this that we critiqued last week, right? With this sort of bright palette of orange, reds, and yellows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if I think that was Drake's as well, if I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, this one's still clipping. I mean, it looks like the red channel is clipping, so it's slightly overexposed, and then you've got the whites in the background. Those are clipping as well. But overall, they're really neat shots. I especially like what is that, a cherry on the right-hand side?
It looks like a cherry, yeah.
Yeah, very abstract. I could see that big, right? Like in a gallery, and you walk in and go, I could do that, but you didn't, right?
Yeah. Like, what is that? I could shoot like that, but you didn't. Yeah.
Right. No, I like it. I like it. Just watching that exposure, I think, is critical. Need to bring that down just a bit.
And we talk a lot about story when we do these critiques as well. And I like the idea of having this side-by-side two-up look, to sort of, carry on the idea from one to the other, to give you another perspective into what was going on when this was captured. I like that.
Sure.
And if that is a cherry on the right, that's kind of a juxtaposition of flavors between. Well,
that's what I was going to say. Usually if you're going to do a diptych or a triptych, they usually feed into each other. So in this case, these are two very dissimilar images. The color is what's the harmony. Yeah. What might have been cool is in one of them is to have cut open one of the peppers and photographed inside, like really deep inside, draw us into the original subject in the second image.
Yeah. This is what they look like from a normal perspective, and this is close up to show all the juices and seeds and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that would be cool. All right.
It's very cool. Sort of a modern art abstract-y type thing.
Yeah, I like it. All right, let's zoom out of this one. Thank you, Mr. Drake White, for this. The Generalist. Very cool. All right, next shot is Esteban Gilligan. Look at this. All right, he's in your wheelhouse, man. All right.
Yeah, I like this. I like seeing wedding images. This is great. Yeah. This is cool stuff. Yeah. Yeah, this is an effect that you do with like a piece of acrylic, like an acrylic prism, or it's a thing. There's all these little pieces of acrylic prisms and little, I don't know what you call them, but you can hold them up in front of the lens, and it creates these cool effects. Yeah. So it's kind of neat. Yeah. Very well handled. I like it. I like the expression, the look on their face, that quiet moment. I wish the quality of light on their face was a little bit better, a little more contrast, a little bit of a healthier color.
Is he a little bit soft, or is it me?
No, I don't think he's good.
He's good?
Yeah, no, I think he's good. I mean, in this type of pose, and I'm just going to speak to the pose, is that you're shooting broad into her shoulder. So her shoulder is the same size as her face, almost, right? So anytime that I'm doing these type of poses, I always get at least the bride to turn her body into me a little bit or away from me. So I get more back or more front. So her shoulder is diminished. And then it's just more appealing. It's a little bit more natural, and you don't see that shoulder, but good use of thirds.
Yeah, I mean, right. Yeah. Yeah, this is really cool. This definitely looks like a shot that they would have purchased, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. This is green merits. And in competition, we want merits to win categories. But in reality, you know, we're wedding photographers or portrait photographers, whatever we do. And our goal is green merits. You know, we want to make the client happy and we want to get paid for what we do. And then we want to do more clients.
Cha-ching merits, right?
Yeah. And this is excellent. This is well done. I look forward to seeing more of his wedding work.
Yeah. Nice. You got some competition in here now, man.
Oh.
All right, let's move on to the next one here. Steven Scharf is in here. Architecture. Look at this. San Jose City Hall. Been there many times.
That's really cool.
Yeah, City Hall is beautiful.
Yeah. So anytime you're doing architecture, the first thing you got to do is look at those vertical and horizontal lines.
Mm-hmm. Make sure you're perpendicular.
Yeah, you got those horizontal lines on the right that are leaning in just a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I love that leading line, the curves in the top. And my favorite thing is that little silhouette or that black tower in the back. Mm-hmm. It's like a secondary hook, right? It really draws you in.
And it breaks up that white space as well.
It does, yeah.
Now to fix that, so those doors that are on the left side leaning in, how would you have fixed those? Just do like a transform?
Yeah, like in Lightroom or Capture One, you've got the transform option where you can draw those lines right there, and it'll pull those back. And generally, it keeps the perspective really nice. It doesn't look distorted or anything.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it in camera, you'd have to be higher. You'd have to be at a higher angle, and then you would tilt the lens down, and then that would fix the parallax.
Yeah, but it's possible to fix it if you like this perspective. You can fix it in post.
Yeah, and you don't always have to fix it though. But as an architectural type of shot, you want to look at those things and decide, like, do I want to leave it or should I fix it?
Yeah. Architecture is all about horizontal and vertical or perpendicular lines.
Yep. Yeah. Architectural photographers are very particular.
Right. And he shot this with his Fujifilm X Pro 1, which, by the way, let me switch the camera back over to me or to us. Look at this thing I'm playing with right now that Fuji sent over.
Oh, nice. Is that the same one that Steven had at F64?
It is, yeah.
Oh,
this is
cool.
The Fuji X100F. So it's the latest in the X100 series. I just got it yesterday. So I got to put it through his paces, play around with it, and see what I like. So far, it's pretty interesting. It's got some. I'm shooting with the Arcos profile in there, which is a black and white sort of, profile that goes along with that show that we did on processing and looks and all that.
Yeah.
I have not. So this is how timely this show is. I have not even pulled the images off of the memory card yet. So I don't even know what they look like. But I've, just in homage to you, I'm going to process all the images out of this camera in
Capture One.
Yeah. Capture One.
I'll send you some profile. I'll send you some styles. I have some black and white styles.
Yeah, send some over. Yeah. And I think probably in a couple of days, I'm going to go get my new computer. So the new computer will have Capture One on.
Bam.
Boom. All right. All right. So there's Steven's shot. Thank you, Steven. All right. Let's move on to the next shot. So many good shots in here. All right. Iraxo's in the house again. Look at this one. He says he's submitting this one because he feels that he needs feedback. He started a photo project, and this is one of the first selections for it. All right, here we go.
Great image.
Panning.
Iraxo. Yeah.
Panning. That's hard. That is hard to do, isn't it?
It is hard to do. Not knowing exactly what your project is. I don't know if you told us in the description.
Let me go back and take a look real quick. He says,
because it said he's starting. No, he just talks about how he processed it and stuff.
Yeah. He's documenting people cycling in Madrid.
There you go. Mm-hmm. I would go for as simple a frame as possible. So in this case, I love the image. I love the expression of the guy on the bike. That's amazing. The woman in the background, that's fantastic. The thing that for me, I would look at this image and go, oh, darn, is you got that wheel in the lower left-hand corner. And that might be really tough. Mm-hmm. But in this project, think about simplifying the frame as much as possible, keeping out as many distractions as you can, and only telling that one story.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that wheel in the lower left is distracting. Other than that, it's a fantastic image.
Yeah. I have nothing to add to that. Yeah, this is really cool. Definitely street, right? This is street photography action. And I love the idea of people giving themselves projects. That's what I want to do. I think, give yourself, instead of just going out and taking photos, give yourself a long-term project, kind of like Levi Sim with his Steve Jobs portraits.
Yeah.
He's been doing since the beginning of time, right? So why not give yourself several projects that you just sort of add on to over time, like people cycling in Madrid?
So one of my buddies who's now in the TWiP Pro community, Mike Couts. Hello, Mike. He is a great street photographer, and I'm gonna challenge him, if he's listening to this, to share some of his street stuff, because he goes like into downtown LA.
Oh, cool.
And share some and photograph some really cool stuff down there. So I don't do it, but I love seeing the people that do that, because it's out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, maybe that's why you should do it. It's out of your wheelhouse.
Yeah, maybe
you're the next evolution of your wedding genre will be street weddings.
Street brides. There you go.
That doesn't sound right. Yeah, we'll leave that right there. All right. Street brides. All right, let's move on to the next one. Thank you, Iraxo, for that. Awesome. And yeah, keep us posted on that project. All right, next shot here is from Mark Harris.
Yeah, Mark's been posting a lot of good stuff lately.
Yeah, look at this one. Wait, let me see what he said about this one. Kat Headland in her Hellcat studio. Okay, Nikon D850. Hey, this is what you shoot, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Give those Nikons some props.
Nikon's on fire this week.
This is really neat. I really like it. I mean, if I was to edit it, I probably would have pushed the shadows a little bit darker, but there's not a whole lot that I would have done to the image. During the shoot, I would have asked her to pull her hair back so that her profile was a little better, maybe lift her head so we could see her chin.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so she had a neck and everything.
Does that diagonal line going through her bother you at all?
No, because it's a very graphical element against the curves of her body. So I think that's kind of cool. I like that. I would just like to see, her profile better. And that's just a matter of just pulling your hair back during the shoot. Not really anything you would do in post, but very creative. He saw it. He captured it. I mean, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. I like this image too. And one of the things I like about it is I'm always a fan. I like, nude shots as much as the next guy, right? But I like when they're not obvious like this. Like, this is suggestive, artistic. You don't need to see every little detail in order to like see what the artist was going for, and it's a revealing yet also obscuring kind of image. So yeah, very well done. I like it.
Yeah, feeds the imagination, which is
right, which
is nice.
Love it. That's why we have imagination, so that they can interpolate reality for us.
That's right. That's right.
All right. All right. Let's move out of this one. All right. And down to the next one. Thank you, Mark Harris, for that. All right. Nick Seth Smith submitted this next one. He said this one is...
Oh, I know, Nick. We can just skip this one. We can just go on.
Poor Nick. Jeez. He says, this is still a work in progress, so I welcome feedback. It's a manual HDR, since none of my HDR programs had a clue how to deal with it. Taken in Queensland, Australia last Saturday. A wedding reception. Yeah. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, this is really cool. And I know Nick really well. He's actually a local photographer and a friend of mine. So
yeah. You weren't purposely being rude to Nick, right?
Yeah. That's why we can be rude to Nick, because we're friends. We have years together. So that's how that works. I dig this shot. I mean, what a cool combination to be able to pull that off on a wedding day. My only suggestion that I made to him was, it looks like the people in the bottom are stretched vertically a little bit. And that might just be because of the wide angle lens that was used. But I mean, overall, I love the concept. Maybe burn the trees down a bit, play with burning down the tent just a tad to try to move that focus around. Or, I like the people being primary and then the Milky Way being secondary, and the trees, I think, should be third. Create a little divider in there.
Right. Right. Now, would you have, like in that architectural shot that Steven submitted, would you fix the converging lines of the tint?
Because this doesn't scream like a commercial landscapey or architectural type of shot to me. Mm-hmm. I probably would not fix it. I would probably leave this, leave sort of that dreamy, ethereal, it's okay if it's bent a little bit look.
Yeah.
Might try it to see, but for the most part, I don't have a problem with it.
When I look at this image, my eye keeps going up to that UFO in the upper left.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I may take that out, or if I was him, I would have taken that out, or at least pushed it back a little bit.
Right. I mean, now see, that's always interesting when you do sky, because you get somebody
like a Neil deGrasse Tyson that's going to say, well, Venus would be visible from that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you clone it out. They'd be like, oh, you just disrespected a planet.
I know. Like they'll ever know. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's art. So take it out if you want.
I take it out. It's distracting.
That's our go-to for everything.
Yep. Kill it. Get rid of it.
It's art. It's subjective. You can take it out.
That's the whole point here. Very cool. All right. Moving right along here. We're cooking with gas, man.
Yeah.
We only got 900 left to go through. All right. Howard Yermish submitted this one. Look at this one. Yeah, I saw this one when he posted it. It's a private waterfall at low tide, Bay of Fundy, New Brunswick, Canada, with a 5D Mark IV. Edited in Lightroom. Look at that. Wow.
I want to be there.
That is just ridiculous.
That is very cool. That's very cool. I might crop off the left side a little bit to give some focus on the waterfall, and then try to recover some of those highlights in those clouds in the background. There's a good chance there's detail there. And, not to be cliche, but I think maybe black and white would be pretty cool for this one.
I disagree on this one. I like the red rocks and the contrast of the red rocks with the green foliage. I think that pushes it. I mean, it would probably do well as a black and white too, granted, but I like the red. The red is like, what is that? Is that oxidation? Is that what is? Why are those rocks red on this otherworldly place? Yeah.
You can blame Ansel Adams. I think waterfalls and landscapes should start off in black and white and then add color as needed.
Be your own man, Troy Miller.
I love it. I love the black and white. So
Ansel would say, you know what, color on this one, I think.
maybe Howard will make a black and white one, and then the community can decide.
All right, yeah, Howard, put in Thunderdome. Let's see.
Oh yeah,
2 shots into 1 survives. All right, I like it. I like that shot a lot. I would leave it like that. I would, community, please chime in, because I like this shot as color. Mr. Everything Must Be Black and White wants to remove the color from that beautiful shot. I think it's great just how it is. All right, have you heard of this guy, Peter Levshin?
Peter Levshin. Yeah, I know
this guy. Does it ring a bell? Too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't he that guy from New Zealand?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You just insulted New Zealanders.
I know.
I don't know if
he can't be from New Zealand because there are no bugs in New Zealand.
That's right. I
got you. We love Peter. We're ribbing him because we know
we
him.
do. See, this is what happens if you meet us in person.
Yes, you will get ribbed, but it's all in jest. Look at this. Yeah. These guys look like these people. I don't know if they're all guys. These people, it looks like just like they're going to some sort of witchcraft type meeting or something that
they're fishing. Yeah.
They paddle out there just beyond those rocks, once a year, and summon the fish monster or something. I'm making up stories in my head, man. You can do that.
I know you are.
Yeah. So,
but this is an amazing shot. Actually, Peter has a 40 or 60-inch print of this hanging up in his office, or one similar to this.
I think I saw this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So, we've got that little bright halo in the sky that I think that I would burn down, and then I would like to see the shadows a little bit more intense, and maybe some of the color. But
pop out just a little bit.
But the softness, I think, is very storytelling as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it adds to the mystery of the shot. I was looking at the shot and I was thinking, how would this look if you removed those 3 fishermen in the foreground and only had the one, or just one of them, in there? Would that have made it more mysterious?
It will make a cool shot, and I know that Peter has that photo, so maybe he can post it. And
the same shot, but with everyone else removed.
I think he's got one with just one fisherman in there.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I like the fact that there's a bunch of them in there, but then just one would make it really mysterious, especially looking like witches, right? It's just, it would really look mysterious.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Peter, post it. We want to see it.
Yeah. Fix those blacks, dude.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And is the horizon straight, or is it me?
I think it's straight.
I feel like is it straight?
Well, you got to remember the shoreline on the left is closer to you than the shoreline in the back, so it's not going to be perfectly horizontal. So that's a tough one. That's on images like this, you adjust them for feel.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, I get it.
It's hard to say.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Peter Levshin.
He wanted to make sure
fashion. Huh.
He wanted to make sure he got some attention in this critique.
Yes, he did. He went to town, didn't he? Look at this. All right, here we go. Troy Miller is helping me as I'm having issues with color after uploading, not matching what I'm seeing on my screen. That's just your eyes, man. I'm telling you.
It turned out that color calibration plug right here, calibrate those monitors, man, because his profile was not engaged for his monitor, and he had just recently submitted some images to PPA, and he didn't do as well as we thought he should do, and it's a good chance they went out dark. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I love these kind of shots, by the way. Of these, is this a macaque?
No, this is the snow monkeys in Japan.
Oh, this is snow monkeys. Yeah. I love that face. Yeah, Martin Bailey shoots these snow monkeys from time to time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're absolutely stunning. I mean, this is such a beautiful portrait of this animal, and he's not quite looking right at you.
He's looking over my shoulder.
But that just, to me, a lot of times you want that eye connection, but to me in this one, that really sort of adds that mystery, like, watch out behind you. Yeah. Or, keep coming. He's not looking. Yeah. Hit him over there. Yeah. Push him.
Yeah. Pick his pocket. Right. Yeah, man, that is great. And the simplicity of this too, because your eyes just get drawn right into his or her eyes as you're.
Yeah, I really got nothing to add to this. I mean, he did everything I told him to do to it, so it's nice.
Yeah, so it's nice. Peter, you take direction well, apparently.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. Love it. He's such a good photographer. All right, here's another one from Peter. Let's bring this one up. Look at that.
Yeah, he's got a bunch from here. And
what did he shoot this with? Did he put it in here?
He shoots on these. These may be his Canon. I think these are older images, so these may have been shot on his Canon. But
did he switch over to Nikon or something?
No, he shoots all Sony.
Oh, he's Sony now.
Yeah, A7R Mark IIs and 3s. I think he's all 3s now. G Master Glass. Yeah, he's bitching stuff. So, I think the vignette is too heavy, and I wish I could see a little bit more into the fisherman's face. But other than that, I love this image. Yeah, this is.
I agree on the vignette. And what did they say? If you can see it, then it's if it draws your attention to it, then it's not doing its job. And the whole purpose of a vignette is to draw your attention into the center of the frame. And this fisherman is already in the center of the frame, right? So,
right.
So I would argue, does it need a vignette? Does it? Does it help
Probably.
or does it hinder? Or even if he did make it less obtrusive, does it still add to the image, or do you need to be drawn into the middle of this image?
I don't think you need to be drawn into the middle. I think that we just need his face to come up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, the vignette is definitely too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we talk about dodging and burning, you know, in the darkroom days, we would burn the edges, not only to bring focus to the attention, but because light would fall off at the edge and it would be brighter. Right.
Yeah.
If you remember, like, we would have to fix that. So it's funny how it's changed now and become just the standard, you know, option that's added to an image.
Absolutely.
And Peter knows better. He knows better. So
he's just lazy. That's all. He's just lazy.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Do you remember in your darkroom days, did you have your own little customized set of dodging and burning tools that you crafted?
Of course, any good photographer.
Yeah, you make them out of hangers and cardboard or construction paper, and you had like stars and circles and squares, and you use them for different things. Yep.
Yep.
The good old days. I remember that.
Speaking of darkrooms, you know what this is?
Oh, wait, let me bring you up on camera here. Let's see. What is that? Oh, yes, I know what that is. That is the tool that you use to reach into a film canister to grab the edge of film to bring it out, right? After it gets rolled back in there. Come on, man.
It's right here on my desk all the time.
Really? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've bulk loaded hundreds of rolls of film. Trust me. Yeah, so I know that very, very well. Cool. That's awesome that you have that. All right.
And Peter again.
Yeah, here's Peter. Wait, where's this next one? Oh, yeah. Oh, this shot. Yeah, he talked about this. I think this was in Papua New Guinea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he talked about this in the interview I did with him.
Yeah.
On this show. Yeah, crazy. His stories, I'm not going to give it all away. You got to go watch the interview with Peter that I did for TWiP. Just go search for Peter Levshin on thisweekinphoto.com. You'll find the interview, and you'll see a bunch of his shots in there as well. But yeah, these people, some of the stories he told about what he went through to get to this area and get out and shoot, and, you know, being respectful and, you know, all that stuff. It's an adventure. It's a huge adventure.
Yeah. Hit him up on TWiP Pro too. He'll respond. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Killer image. I mean, I think he had considered using one of these for competition, and I told him that he should take that little fuzzy stick out in the back.
What's wrong with the fuzzy stick?
It's distracting, you know. It's part of the storytelling, but it is a bit distracting. But other than that, I love the expression.
Dude, I mean, have you seen this photo? I mean, distracting. It's like the face paint, the bone coming out of the nose, and the feathers on the head, and the paint, and the feathers on the back. That's all cool, but that one little feather stick is distracting to me.
Yeah, I did say for competition.
Yeah,
I did say for competition.
Yes.
Yeah. Not a lot I could add to this. I think that he tuned it very, very well, and you know, I don't know the situation where he took this, whether it was a portrait or a photojournalistic moment where he, you know, walked into one of the tents or whatever they were doing. But, you know, what amazing storytelling and what amazing subjects.
Yeah. And what expression, you know, and this is, I think we talked about this in that interview. This is an example of going to where the shots are. Right. So I would argue chances are low that you'll get a shot like this in Corona. Right? Yeah. Maybe, but not so much, you know. So you have to like get out of your comfort zone, jump on a plane, bring your gear, and bring some skill, and, you know, you can come back with shots like this, right?
Yeah, jump on 12 planes.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, this also speaks to, this image is one of those things too where it's simple. There's not a lot to be really critical of. Yeah. There's an expression. There's a storytelling element, and there's quality of light. Yeah. So, like, if we go back to, is it Araxio, that's doing the bicycle project? You know, it applies to him as well, right? Yeah. It's the subject, the storytelling, the direction, the quality of light. All those things are what we need. Photons, as my good friend always says.
Yeah, photons.
You need those. Yeah.
Gotta love them. And photons have never changed, as far as we know. Pretty much the same as they were billions of years ago. All right, moving on to Stephen Sharf again. Look at this. All right, Merced River. What did he shoot this one? His XT2 again. His Fuji XT2 with a 10-24. Nice.
Yeah, I love this. Properly done in black and white.
You see now, Stephen, this is very obvious pandering to Troy Miller. I was going to say, it's obvious that you're pandering to Troy Miller here.
But you love it in black and white, do you not?
I do, but I love this one in black and white because I don't see where color would add to it. I bet you if you were looking at this scene in real life, there'd be very little color here anyway, right? So overcast day, white snow covering the ground, and dark wood, maybe some color in the water, but I would argue this probably is very close to what it looked like when you were there.
Probably. This may even be color.
It might be color. You're like, wait a minute, this could even be color.
Yeah, I really don't have a whole lot to add to this. It's clean. It's no heavy vignettes, all the things that we've mentioned before. I love the graphical element of the river in the lower left, split with the snow, the trees, the foreground, middle ground, background, the haze in the distance. I might crop a little bit off the top because we don't need it, but that's subjective, I
like the top. Yeah, it is subjective. I like having the top on there because it sort of balances, the light balances against the dark of the water.
Yeah.
So it keeps it. If you chopped a little bit off, it would still do its job. But I kind of like having it top heavy like that.
Yeah, I would love to see this printed large. This is an image that really just wants to be big.
Yeah.
None of Peter's work though. Just this one.
I remember my dad in our living room, he had a painting that reminds me of. It was a shot like this. Speaking of big, it was a shot like this, but on the horizon line back there, you see the horizon line of the snow? There was a person on a horse riding. And I remember, they're like just riding across the scene. And I remember as a little kid just staring at that painting like, who is that person? Where are they going, or where are they coming from? Like, what are they? Why
That's
are they
amazing.
Out there? Yeah. It's so cool. It just reminds me of it a lot, and that's the power of images, right? Because that shot is still, it was a painting, but that image is still in my head, and this evoked it. So very cool. Good job, Stephen. Stephen is so talented.
Yeah, his stuff is nice. These are all so good,
right? We haven't seen any that we were like. But we still have a couple to go through. So, all right. So next one, Craig Stampley. All right, we still have to do our Craig Stampley video, by the way.
We do. I ate all my candy though.
Oh, good grief, man.
Dude, that stuff is so freaking good.
I still have mine. Bag. I held on to mine because I knew we were going to do a video, and you're just over there doing Pac-Man. Come on.
Yeah, tear open that bag of those little gummy looking things and eat the teeth. You got to go for the teeth and the little strawberries. Oh, they're so good.
All right, we'll do.
But I did save my Vegemite. It's laying back there in the jar.
Okay, so it'll be a Vegemite show.
Yeah, it'll be a Vegemite show.
This is a 15 millimeter f13 1/8 of a second ISO 100, but I have no idea what camera this was. But look at the shot. Wow.
Yeah, very, very nice. And I love how there's just a little bit of motion. At first I looked at that and I thought, oh man, this would be great if it was like, 30 seconds or whatever. But then you would lose the boat and you would lose the texture in the water. There's just enough movement in that boat and just enough movement in the sky. I think the exposure, the treatment is very well handled. It looks HDR-esque.
Yeah, it does.
But I dig it. I think it's great. I think it's very well done.
Yeah, it puts you in that place, right? It feels like it's magic hour or just after magic hour. And, this is a Thursday and everyone just got off work and they're going out to hang out and have drinks, or maybe it's morning. Who knows? But it's nice. I like it.
Yeah, I like the balance of the framing of the buildings. If you didn't have that building on the left, it would feel incomplete. It would feel open. So I think it's very well structured. The horizon is below the center of the frame. Arguably, you could maybe crop up a little bit, which would move the center of the horizon down. But you don't. I mean, it's good.
And you're okay with it being in color, I'm assuming?
Yeah, this one's good in color.
Okay. Now you're looking at it with black and white eyes. You're like, well,
No. I'll tell you when they need to be color. I mean, black and white.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Love it. All right. Man, people are commenting on others' work. I love that. The community's coming together. All right. Let's see. Craig Stampley posted another one, a French Street growth chart. All right, bring this one up. This is more street photography, documentary type photography, right?
Yeah. Oh, this is just amazing. It's an amazing, that he saw this and Craig, that you photographed it and, you've captured it and you're sharing it with us. I mean, these are things that we need to photograph, right? To preserve history, if anything, and then tell the stories of these humans that we'll never meet or we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I just love that.
Yeah. I love it. I used to let this one soak in a little bit.
I like the way that it's been cropped right to the edge of that frame and the edge of that frame.
I love it. I'm just reading the names on here. This is cool. Very cool. Let's move on from this one. Thank you, Craig Stampley. Nice, unique shot of a wall. I wish we moved around a lot when I was a kid. I wish there was a wall like this of my growth progress somewhere. Did you guys move at all when you were growing up?
No, we moved from Indiana to California when I was 7, and that was it.
That was it. Yeah, my dad was a corporate ladder climber, so we're like, new school, great. Hey, Kyle Nishioka's in the house. Look at this one. All right, let's bring this up big.
Now this screams for a model in there.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. Right on that rock, standing up, stretching up towards the light, right?
But what a great shot. I mean, I really love the composition of this. I might crop up from the bottom just a little bit, because I think the light coming through the rocks are really where we're drawn.
And this is tilted a little bit to the right as well, right?
It's going to be hard to tell because, there's no street lights or anything.
Well, there's that water, the long exposure water on the left there but yeah, you're right. I'm nitpicking, but
definitely, go ahead and bring that exposure down though, because it's okay to make the walls darker and get that exposure in the light. Bring that down. And if you didn't expose for it, then okay, that's going to be challenging. But normally these type of shots, you want to expose for that. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Kyle Nishioka, every time something new, right? Every time there's a different shot. He rotates. He's like, I'm going to keep him guessing. I'm going to keep rotating my shield frequencies. that was a nerd reference, by the way.
I got it. No, I totally got it.
Star Trek. All right. So closing that out. Thank you, Kyle Nishioka. All right. Michael Couts.
Michael Couts, yeah.
After the storm, Joshua Tree National Park after a large thunderstorm. Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
I love those colors. That's my planet right there. Look at those colors.
Oh, I know. I love that. And I know he shoots on Sony, like A7R Mark IIIs and stuff. So that full frame sensor just soaking it all in.
Oh, good grief. You and your...
No, I know. I'm sorry.
This is your middle age talking. It's okay.
Yeah. No, this is fantastic. I mean, I really like the vertical lines are intentional. The horizontal, the horizon looks like it's right. So, he thought of all those kind of things.
The reflections.
Yeah. I wish we had the rest of that Joshua tree in the top left corner. You could do without the road and lift that up and capture that. I think that would look really good. But this is preference, like he probably wanted to show that street in there and the lines and the water. And I bet that smelled good too. I mean, it's great. There's so many colors going on in here and no, this does not need to be black and white. This definitely works in color.
Yeah. Thank you. Cause we were going to have to box if you were going to say this one needed to be black and white.
I think you could crop up a little from the bottom though, maybe to that first puddle on the left, just to drop that horizon down,
like right above where his watermark is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
That'll bring some attention to that reflection. And you know what? Maybe crop it vertical, really, really, really vertical, and just keep in those two trees and the line.
Oh yeah, that would be killer. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because it's full frame, he has the resolution to do that.
Oh Jesus.
Sorry. I'll make no more references. I know we got to get through these.
Oh, I love it. You're like an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
All right. So moving right along. Here we go. Thank you, Michael. All right. And now we're on Robert Waltman, the Freedom Tower with a Nikon D810. Of course, f8 at 102 millimeter, 7200 f4. Look at that. Have you been to the Freedom Tower yet?
I haven't. No, it's in New York, and that's far away and requires a plane ride.
Yes, it is all those things, and it is also very worth it. I walked around that thing too.
Daughter's been there. So this photo is the end product of stitching 3 images together: lower third, middle third, and top third. Edited and press. Oh, that's interesting.
A vertical stitching job, huh? Nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. And straight lines. You approve of the straight lines?
They're not all straight. Are they? Yeah, they look pretty good.
What are you looking? What are you looking at? That's not straight.
The building on the right. The glowy building.
The one with the crane on it.
Mm-hmm. It could be an optical illusion, but
now you're just picking. See, now this is one you're going to say could be really nice, high contrast black and white, right?
Yes.
Yep. Because I agree on this one. I agree. This one could go both ways because it's actually really nice with the color popping out. It shows the vibrancy of the city. But in black and white, yeah, I can definitely see it pop and be crispy. And in black and white, it would definitely be more timeless as well, I think.
Right. And it would be, all those graphical elements and the angles and the lines. But this is exceptionally well handled. Right up to how close that antenna is at the top of the frame.
Yep.
Very intentional.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Nicely done. Nicely done. Not a lot we can add to that.
No. Very nice. Yeah, I even like it. Is it square? It looks like it's square.
It might be square. Yeah, it looks square.
Mm-hmm.
We like squares.
Very nice. Yeah, it's hip to be square.
But squares can't roll.
Age. All right. Joe Jordan, Sunset at Regent's Canal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty up. We're getting that weird bug again. I think this happens when people post from the Android app. It doesn't. Is it coming up on your side?
It is. Yeah.
No, it's not coming up for me. Let me try that again. Nope. Not coming up. Interesting. Maybe it's my computer. That's why you're getting replaced, computer. All right. So we have to put a pin in that one and discuss it later.
Oh, yeah. You know what? When I click on it, it doesn't come up, but you can see it in the preview.
Yeah, I can see the thumbnail. Yeah, for sure.
Feed,
yeah. See, it doesn't come up when I click on it. That's what I was saying. But I can see it in the thumbnail. Yeah, can you get enough info by looking at the thumbnail?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's a really cool shot. I think the reflection is really neat. I love the blue sky. It looks a little heavy-handed on the processing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing some noise in there, and in the top half, it looks like maybe the noise has been cleared away, or maybe that's just sort of where it's vignetting the noise.
Mm-hmm.
This is a case of where you have this reflection, and I think if you crop from the right and keep the building in, maybe it would do you a little bit better, and then let where the reflection and the buildings are converging in the distance, that's where you crop.
Yeah.
Right. So to draw your eye right there, ends right at that tree.
Yeah.
And then you're good. But it's
converging lines, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Use those leading lines and let your eyes be drawn out of the, right to that point where it's brightest. It's got the moon in there.
Look at you with those good eyes critiquing a thumbnail. That's amazing.
Yeah. I got glasses on.
Yeah, you went to the dentist today. You can see really well now.
Perfect. I know.
All right. Stephen Scharf is next. Photojournalism. Joseph Newgarden at the Penske Hitachi Indy car team waits to exit his pit box. Look at that.
Yeah, cool storytelling image. I mean, I really love that. I'm just looking around. There's the tools on the wall, the car, the guy just kind of hanging out. His eyes are closed though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a bummer, right? I mean, photojournalistically, you wait for the moment and then you grab it.
When he's looking straight, like if he was looking at the camera, right? Like at Steven, when Steven shot this, that would be killer.
Yeah, or he had a tool in his hand and he was in motion. You know, he was moving to or from.
Yeah.
I love the shot, though. I would say that we do need to bring up that shadow a bit more. And this is hard because you're shooting into the sunlight. So maybe sacrifice some of that sunlight exposure to get some better exposure into the pit area. But
yeah, but you could selectively dodge that area up a little bit. Would you change the color balance of the shadow area? Or would you leave it kind of in that sort of bluish tonal range as compared to the yellowish tonal range of the sun area?
I would definitely change it. I mean, I would bring it up so it felt warm all the way through, and that may not be reality, but I think it would have more continuity of color throughout the image, and I think it would the image would benefit from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice, Steven. Steven loves his races, doesn't he?
Yeah. And you know what? We didn't even mention that he's in the pit. How do you get there?
Yeah, how do you? Well, you know people, and you're Steven, and Steven can get in the pit. Okay.
Because that's just cool, just by the nature of it. So
yeah, Steven, you have to write. Give us a comment on this photo of how you got in that pit. Like, was it? Do you know people? Do you know this guy that's standing there, or did you promise them images? Is that the carrot that gets you in there? What's the secret of getting in the pit?
Yeah,
love it. Or is it just a press pass? Yeah, who knows? All right. Cool. Good shot. All right, moving right along. Christopher Berry. All right, what did he say about this one? Here's an image for the photo critique. This is a woman that works with his wife. She's from Rwanda. All right, let's bring this up full screen. Look at that shot.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I commented on this one. There's still the skin tone in that Fuji sensor, and looking at the detail in that scarf on her head between the blacks, the whites, the grays, and all that. It just held everything in there. It held it all. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, this is beautiful lighting. Because it's a butterfly lighting, so it's lighting coming from the top down. That creates a shadow under her nose. That's the butterfly.
Yep.
That makes her forehead and the top of her head bright.
Yep.
And really, we want to see the mask of her face more. I would like to see the mask of her face.
What is the mask of her face?
Around the outside of her eyes, her chin, her cheeks. And right now our focus is, or our attention is drawn to the top of her head because it's brighter. So burn that down a little bit. You can scrim it when you do that with your, when you set up your lighting. That would help a lot. And that way we're drawn more into the mask of her face and her eyes. Yeah. And, it would have helped to have a reflector or light behind you, put some light in her eyes. But all that said, it's a beautiful, beautiful portrait. It's very well handled. The color toning and everything is really well done. Yeah, it is very well done. And I know for a fact that he shot this one with his Fuji. What does it say over here? XH1. Yeah. So and I think that Fuji has the same sensor that this X100F has, which makes me want to go shoot some portraits with it. So, yeah. So that is a really nice shot. Really nice shot. Just watch that extra space behind her, because it would be helpful if the space was in front of her. Oh, so she's looking into the frame versus walking out of the frame, right? It's ill-balanced. So if you're going to put extra space in, put some in front. It would be more ideal if she was balanced, because she's looking right at you. You could put equal space on both sides. But yeah, no, I dig it. Very nice. Very well done, Chris. Good job, sir. Good job. All right. Mark Domke, Kona Sunset. Let's take a look at this one. Look at that. Should not be black and white. Hey, put your ruler down. I know you're measuring that horizon right now to make sure it's even. It is 3 pixels higher on the right side, right? No, it's great. This is really neat, and what I like is I would crop up from the bottom. I don't think we need all that extra space below the boat, but I love the fact that the boat is in there because it gives us context, and I'm okay with it being stacked with the sun. Normally, let's get composition, right? Yeah, you want it offset a little bit. Yeah, this is nice. Very well done. That sun is handled very well. So he obviously, when he edited it or when he photographed it, he had to think about that sun was going to overexpose. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. And what about that other boat back there close to the horizon? Is that bothering you? Do you think it adds to the photo, or should he have just like one click healed that guy out of there?
I would have taken it out. I mean, that's just my personal preference. Like I would have cleaned that up.
You're a minimalist though. You like fewer elements in your photos, I've noticed.
I do. Yeah. Because really what it is the least amount of things to distract your viewer. And so if you take that out, nobody has to look at that and go, gosh, I wonder what that is. Yeah. It's just not there. Look at the sun, look at the cruise, look at the, like, I wish I was there. And
Yep. I like it. Very cool. I just want to keep looking at this image. It makes me want to be there.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Kona. All right. Mark Domke. Thank you, sir. All right. Tim Ingles in the house. Uh-oh. Here we go.
I was reading because I was just about to say that it looks a little dark. And then I remembered reading this where Tim said it's a bit underexposed intentionally.
Yeah. I brought that up too. Yeah. What did I say on the comment of this one?
Oh, yeah, you did bring it up.
Yeah. I said, I love the simplicity of these black and white. Ooh, typo. White portraits, especially on black. Is it me, or is Thomas about a half EV underexposed? And Tim said he's under intentionally. He trimmed all around him. The light's coming from the top, open door with a mirror as the edge light. Tim is the MacGyver of portraiture, by the way.
That's how you got to do it, though, right?
He will. He could create an image from like parts found in Sanford and Son's junkyard and make it awesome. Yeah,
that's cool. Good. That's what we need. We need him to come out to F64. Teach a lighting class, a portrait lighting class, and I'll just give him a pile of junk.
Right? He would love that.
A roll of duct tape and that's a great idea.
He would totally love that. Just give him like that would be a good competition though, right? If you have like a mass, like an Iron Chef type deal where you put a pile of stuff in the middle of the stage and a background on either side of the stage and put two photographers up there and say, okay, go get your stuff. Kind of like
that's cool.
Yeah, like what was that the science fiction show with those kids? Hunger Games. Where they run in and get their weapons, Do that. You should totally do that for F64.
Yeah, and we'll just the reward will be whiskey or something.
There you go. Yeah, that's it.
I only have two small critiques for this image. I mean, it's exquisite. I mean, it would merit in competition. I mean, this is super well handled, lighting on his face and everything.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
You don't know. Well, you might know one.
I know.
The white spot on his right elbow.
Yep, I was going to say that. Yep. And the spot on the table?
No, I wasn't going to say that.
Oh, okay.
I wish that he had relaxed his shoulders a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, I never would have got
It feels like he's leaning into himself a bit. And I realize his hands on his face and everything. So maybe that's where he ends up. But just push those shoulders back and just relax a tad bit more.
Yeah.
I think it would feel a little bit better, but.
Yeah, this guy looks like Vincent D'Onofrio to me. I don't know, the actor.
Yeah, I look like that when I have hair.
Yeah, me too. When I have hair, nice. Love it. Anybody can have hair. Just go buy it. Put it on.
I have a hat.
There you go, or a hat. All right, Kai Greydert submitted this one. I saw this come in last night. I was like, that is so cool.
That is so cool. Definitely.
I was thinking before I knew it was a cat's nose. I was like, that's got to be a kangaroo or something. Nope, it's cat, little cat.
Yeah.
And it's focus stacked.
How'd you get a cat to hold still for that?
Did you read the comment? Let me read the comment.
The cat woke up. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Cat nap. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. I love it. We're a cat family, so right away I knew that was a cat. But I love the fact that it's a common object, right? It's a common thing that we all know what it is, but yet it's photographed in a way that you have to really look at it and think about it.
Yep. Yeah.
So
you don't necessarily have to travel like Peter Levshin to exotic places and take 12 planes to get there in order to get interesting shots. They were all around you, right?
No, I love it. I think it's a little heavy vignetted around the cat. It doesn't fade into, but I'm not too picky about that.
It doesn't bother me at all. I like it. I would like to see this. I would like to see this in a series, like of abstract parts of that cat. This is the nose.
Black and white.
Oh, no, not in black and white. I like the color on this. I like the color.
Black and white would look cool.
It would look okay in black and white.
No,
but
it would look cool.
But I mean, I want to see the nose. I want to see like the tip of the ears and, you know, just different, like the padding on the feet, you know, different parts of the cat that are so close up that you have to think about it. But good luck getting that cat to sit still for this photo session. Cats don't generally like to cooperate with anything, right?
No.
That's
good. Killer image, Kai. Really good image.
No, I love it. I like Kai. And welcome to the community, too. Love it. All right. You ready for the last one?
Yeah. Peter Levchin.
Peter Levchin. 3 hours ago, he posted this one. Look at that. Shot a bromo last year in infrared. Oh, on a Sony A7R2 10 millimeter Voigtlander lens.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at how sharp that is. Wow.
That's an amazing lens. Yeah.
God, that's impossibly sharp.
Yep.
Look at that.
I have one of those, and it's his fault. You
have that lens, really?
Yeah. It's a great lens. You don't really focus it. You just kind of hold it up, and on the Sony, because it does focus peaking, you just like, okay, that's good.
Yeah, that is beautiful. And an infrared. You have an infrared. Is your infrared camera Sony?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the same camera. Nice.
Yeah, they're great. You know, this image is awesome. I don't mind that the horse's head is big, you know, because it shows scale. I love that. I don't think we need a third of the right half of the frame. I think you could crop it off in between those trees. Yeah. I don't know. I think you could. I like the volcano or whatever that is. That the right half. I said crop the right half.
Yeah, I'm saying the volcano balances that side, so I'd be okay cropping the right side off a little bit. But I kind of like it like stretched like that. It gives you that sort of panoramic cinematography kind of feel to it. You know, with it wide like that, it feels like you're sitting in a theater and you're like, what was the scene in this movie? True. Why do you have a donkey and a violin? Like, what is going? And you're walking away from a volcano. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
What is happening here?
Yeah. This is really great. No, it's well processed. It's well handled. I mean, processing infrared, if you've ever shot infrared, is challenging because it doesn't always come out the way that you want. So yeah.
And you do yours in Capture One, right? Your infrared processing.
I do. Yeah, I do it all in Capture One now. Yeah. Yep, I love it. So good job.
Good job, Peter. Wow, he's on top of it. Look at him. All right, looks like that's the last one, man. Did you see? What do you think? That crop of photos this time. That's like
they're seriously good.
I'm intimidated. I'm starting to get that 500. Well, the old school 500 PX feel, you know, where it's like the stuff in there was too cool, and you're like, "Well, I can't put anything in there; it's too amazing," you know. Which is kind of what I want. I want everyone's boats to rise on the TWiP tide. That's what we want.
And the diversity is fantastic. We go from, a growth chart on French Street, in Pencil, and then we have, Kyle in Zion National Park, and then Burma and Australia. I mean, that like these people are all over the place, and the images are all over the place. And
yeah, you did good. You guys
seriously good stuff.
You done good, and this was a marathon session, right? As I record this, we're scratching. We're knocking on an hour. We're knocking on an hour for this one. I think this may be the longest critique we've done so far.
And there's wedding images in this one, which I've got to say I like.
There was some of everything in this one. I mean, we had Indy cars, we had weddings, we had monkeys, people walking away with donkeys on the volcanoes,
violins.
Beautiful women from Rwanda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys crushed it. Congratulations, folks. I think it's time for us to start cranking up the contest action, though. I think it's time we've been threatening to do that for a couple of episodes. I think it's time for us to create a sponsor-driven prize package that we sort of give away once a month or at some interval. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah, that way all the images that are submitted here, they go back, they critique them if they want. I mean, after we critique them, they tweak them, do what they want to do, and then those have a place now to go and compete.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think that would be fun. And by nature, the people that are putting these in here for critique, I think they're competers. I think they're somebody that would put their images in there.
Yeah. Yep.
I like that. I like that a lot.
You know who was missing? I didn't see in here that's been a staple. Andy S.
Oh, that's right.
Right. I did not see an Andy S photo in here. Andy.
She's making something amazing. That's what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's working on something.
Cooking up something that's mind blowing for next week. All right, man. Well, let's close this off. Troy Miller, any parting shots before we close it off?
No, good job, everybody. I was very excited to see these images. So these are fun. These are cool. And I'm going to try. I've been a little bit absent from the community lately, so I'm going to try to repair that. I'll try to get in there and post some images and talk with everybody.
Keep your eye out for some pyrotechnic type images from the spicy Jello Meister himself.
Yeah, I'm editing a wedding, so I may end up throwing some wedding stuff in there right now.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I want to see that. Yeah. Cool. All right, man. That's it. Thanks a lot for putting up with the delay and putting up for this marathon critique session. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, folks. We'll see you in the next one.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Peace. This is TWiP.